I still need to dig further into this Ingrid Steeger collection, so let's take a look at one of her more famous outings. She's not the star of this one, but only one of many people. Somehow, I doubt that will bother you.
Man has to have a little bit of variety.
Welcome to Exploitation Reviews, and me, Rob, and today I'm taking a look at The Young Seducers from 1971. In the early 70s, the sexploitation scene in continental Europe was dominated by report movies. Schoolgirl Report, Housewife Report, Stewardesses Report, loads of them. Loads. These were pseudo-documentaries that told various stories around some theme, and had a host acting as a framing device to hold all of the disparate pieces together. So no plot really, but a collection of stories, like an anthology film. A while back I talked about one of these Schoolgirl Report movies. Check that out if you'd like a more in-depth look at one of those. This week's film is structurally also a report movie, even though it doesn't pretend to be a documentary or even call itself a report movie. In fact, it even pokes a little fun at itself by saying audiences are getting tired of report stories, but don't let them fool you, it's still a report movie. Let's check it out. Well, we open on credits which take place over body parts you can't see here on YouTube.
Now, just work here.
But of course, we don't have to stay here. Head over to Patreon for full-bodied versions of my reviews. It's just $3 a month, and the link is in the description. Credits over, we're in a meeting. A magazine, I think, is talking about a topic for their next issue. Their readers are tired of their reports and want something different. They decide their next theme will be Young Seducers. So it's one of those men are the victims because they just can't control themselves around young vixens kind of stories. Not exactly politically correct, but it's all played for laughs, so there's no reason to be offended.
I mean, you can't take this seriously. If you do, you're a nitwit, you know.
Our first story starts on a beach. A man looks over at a bathing beauty. She decides she doesn't want tan lines. The two get to chatting, and the man invites the woman back to his apartment. The man's an artist, and you might be surprised to hear this, but the woman poses for him, and he gets distracted. Ugh, the 70s and their mustaches. Who wants to put their mouth on hairy lips?
I can't believe you, Rob.
The next story takes place at a gas station. Angela works in the back, and well, they don't call it a service station for nothing. Angela's not wearing any clothes, but through the magic of editing, I can give you some idea of what happens. Our third story
began of all places in a tub.
Okay, so let's skip to the part of the story that's not in a tub. After getting clean, she decides to get
Dirty.
She calls her chemistry teacher, and so he invites her over to discuss things before making such a rash decision. Things get a little rough.
Will you let go of me?
That was your own fault.
Next up, there she is, the one and only Ingrid Steeger. She's having a piano lesson and offers to give her teacher a photo of herself. And she would like one of the teacher in return.
But I'm not as well proportioned as you are, Susan.
We will soon see that is a big, fat lie. Two of them, actually.
What do you want me to do, draw you a picture?
Okay, well, like I said at the top of the vid, there isn't a plot here, just a series of sexy stories. And as the film goes, these stories will be faster and less well developed, way less developed than that piano teacher story. And what's left of the film will get a silly retelling of the Princess and the Pea story. It's about as stupid as you might expect. Then it's the seduction of a Danish footballer, but he's clearly a bodybuilder, not a footballer. You can tell this because of his big chest and small calves, but mostly from the fact he never falls down and pretends to be hurt.
How are you doing that material with a straight face?
Then there's a seduction of a theater actor, a lawyer, or maybe a law student, who really should know better. And finally, a barn party with 4 dudes and 1 gal. And that barn gal, by the way, is Dorrit Henke, who, a few years after this, will go on to be in the gross, but maybe brilliant, Salo. And then we're back to the magazine meeting for 2 final jokes, both of which I'll save for you. Let's talk some highlights. Well, as with all of these report films, they are recommendable, usually just based on the few good or memorable sequences that they have. And in that regard, this one is better than the ones I've seen. We've got that Ingrid Steeger scene, the service station scene, the hunky bodybuilder, the barn. This movie does pretty well in the sexy department. But what really elevates it above its report brethren is that there are no bad scenes. Maybe a bit stupid, yeah, but not bad. This isn't always the case. In Schoolgirl Report 4, for example, there's a really gross story that ruins the vibe. There are no vibe-ruining scenes here. It's light and fun and all the way through. And the girls look amazing. In fact, the overall quality of the film was probably why it's one of the few of these report movies that was also released in the States. But all that being said, the film's not perfect. Like a pianist practicing with her teacher, this film has some shortcomings. Well, despite not being called one, this is a report movie, and as such, it does not have a plot, but just a string of shorts tied together with the thinnest of framing devices. And it's not that I'm anti-anthology film. There are some good horror anthology films, for example, but those have 3 or maybe 5 stories and run close to 2 hours long. This one has like 10 stories and is under 80 minutes. Which means even its stories don't really have stories, just quick occurrences. And I don't mind quick occurrences, but I can't do 10 in a row.